Jaw drop, mic drop, what the hell? Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. We are doing another splurge or save video today. You already know that these are my absolute favorite to film. If you are new here and you do not know what a splurge or save is, basically I go through products on the higher end of the cost spectrum and then the more affordable end. And I basically compare two products and I let you know whether you should splurge on the more expensive option or save your money and go with the more affordable option. Sometimes these two items are dupes, but for the most part, they are just two items that are very, very similar to each other, which I guess is the definition of a dupe. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Esty and on my channel we discuss everything in the beauty world and sometimes some other things. So if you are interested in seeing that type of content, please subscribe to my channel. And if you are enjoying this video as you're watching it, you already know what to do. Give this a big thumbs up because it really helps a small creator like myself. And without further ado, let's get right into this splurge or save. First up, I want to talk about a few fragrances, and the first two fragrances I'm going to mention are both from Dossier. You already know, if you watched my previous videos, I absolutely love Dossier. I even did a dedicated video to Dossier because that's just how much I love them and I love the company. If you're not aware what Dossier is, basically they make affordable versions of high-end slash designer slash niche fragrances. And what I think is really amazing and unique and why I just keep going back to them and using their products is not only are their fragrances just amazing, the longevity and the quality and the price and all of that, but I think what's most unique about them is that you can basically try before you buy. So when you get your fragrance in the mail, it comes with the full-size fragrance and then you also get like a little sample, and basically you can try out the sample. You have 30 days and if you don't like it, you just send it back. You get all of your money back and that's really it. So I just think that's really cool and it's, you know, just risk-free. But the two that I want to talk about today, which are two newer ones to my collection, are Woody Sandalwood, which is based on the LABO Santal 33, and Fruity Honey, which is based on Jo Malone Nectarine and Honey Blossom. So both of these perfumes are perfumes that I've had in this little, so I have this like little thing in my closet where I just keep like all of my little samples, things I'm trying out, so on and so forth. And these are two fragrances that I've had the sample like literally sitting in this box. This is the LABO Santal 33 sample, and then somewhere in here, oh here it is, somewhere in here I have the Jo Malone sample. So these are both fragrances that I basically have just like been hoarding in here, and I just felt like, I don't know, I don't want to spend my money on the full size, but I still really want these, and I still have been like using the samples nonstop. And let me tell you, the really nice man at the LABO Bloomingdale's counter probably wants to kill me by now because I'll go in there like once a month or whenever I go to the mall and I'm like, hey, like he knows me already. I go in there, I'm like, hey, do you have another, you know, Santal, or maybe you have like something else to give me? So he probably hates me by now. But anyways, I wanted to talk about these two. So first up, everyone knows Santal 33 by LABO. It's famous, especially if you're like in the New York area. This scent is worn and loved by so many. It's a unisex scent. I love how Dossier also like explains their fragrances because it really just smells like a woody sandalwood scent, very straight to the point. And like I said, I have had time to compare this to the sample, and let me tell you, it's literally the exact same thing. The longevity is there, the wear time is there, which I really feel like also differentiates Dossier. I've spoken about their Oriental Cherry, which is the dupe for Tom Ford Lost Cherry, 100 times. That is still my holy grail, my go-to. I just didn't include it in this video because I've spoken about it 100 times. But Woody Sandalwood is amazing. The full-size LABO, or the 1.7 ounce LABO, is around $200. I believe it's like $198. This Dossier one is the same exact size and it is $49. So you really can't go wrong. Like I said, you can just, you know, try them before you buy and send it back if you don't like it. And then all of you already know that I just have a love of Jo Malone fragrances. I just feel like Jo Malone is a really staple sort of brand in my life. I have a bunch of their fragrances. I wear them all the time. And Nectarine and Honey Blossom is another scent that I've just wanted for a while, but I just never purchased. And I don't really have a reason for it besides that I just didn't want to spend the money on it. Although I do think that Jo Malone fragrances are worth the money. The is it 1.7 ounces, or I think 1 ounce is their smaller size. Yeah, I think 1 ounce is their smaller size. They run for like $72. This one is 1.7 ounces and it is $29. And I do think that Dossier fragrances in general, the ones that I have that are based on Jo Malone scents, do last longer than Jo Malone scents because all of the Jo Malone fragrances are colognes. So even on me, I feel like fragrance in general lasts like pretty long on me. I always make sure to put like moisturizer on first, you know, the whole deal. Jo Malone itself, like the real fragrances, only last on me about 4 to 6 hours because they are colognes technically, but this one literally lasts on me all day. So yeah, if you have been looking into designer or niche fragrances, I say Dossier all the way. Also, you can use SD10 to get 10% off. That is not a commission code. I do not make money on that code. That is literally just because I love Dossier so much, so they gave me a code for all of you. The next 2 fragrances I'm putting head to head are the Vanilla Bourbon by Mixbar, which is available at Target, and the Kayali Vanilla 28. This is owned, or this brand is owned by Huda Beauty. I feel like the Kayali Vanilla 28 is like very famous. I feel like this is their one scent. Well, also their musk scent is famous too, but this is like their one scent that is always out of stock, and it's called Vanilla 28 because it took them 28 times to perfect it. The main notes that I smell in both of these are obviously the vanilla, but you have that brown sugar, and with this one you have that bourbon, so it's kind of sugary sweet vanilla, but it's not like a sickly sweet. It's like a deep, warm, mysterious type of sweet, if that makes sense. Anyways, the Vanilla Bourbon, which is 1.7 fluid ounces, retails for 20 bucks. 20 bucks at Target. And then obviously this one I have is like a travel size. This one's like 25 bucks. I think this is 0.30, I can't even read this, it's so small. This is 0.33 ounces, it's 25 bucks, but their 1.7 ounce size is $85. Now, should you save or splurge? I definitely say save. Save, save, save. Not only do these literally smell identical, I would say the only difference is maybe that this one, because it has that bourbon, it's slightly more deeper, which I actually like. This one is slightly more sweet. This one has like slightly more of that brown sugar, whereas this has slightly more of the bourbon, but I'm telling you, like on the body, you really do not smell a difference. The longevity of these are really, really good. I would say they last about like 5 to 6 hours, so they're not like incredible, but they're pretty good for the price. And to be honest, the longevity of this is really not that great if you ask me. So I definitely say save, 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 and go with the Mixbar Vanilla Bourbon. Next up, I have 2 hair products to talk about. Also, speaking of hair, it is so hot at my house. I think I'm actually just going to put my hair up really quickly. Okay, anyways, we're talking about 2 hair products. So first up, we have the L'Oreal Elvive 8-Second Wonder Water, which is a Lamellar rinse out treatment. And then I also have the Redken Extreme Bleach Recovery Lamellar treatment. So these are both Lamellar treatment water. So basically the L'Oreal one is the one I tried first and I fell in love with this. This is, I don't know why this is still in the box. I haven't used it. It's actually brand new, but I might as well take it out. And also the other day I went to like a drugstore, I think it was like CVS or Walgreens, and I think they changed the packaging of this. But anyways, it's the same product. So basically I spoke about this one in my favorite hair care video, and this is amazing. This makes your hair so soft, so shiny. Use it in the shower. It's really, really easy to use. And I had gone through like 2 bottles of this, and then I saw this one on Ulta and it said Extreme Bleach Recovery. So clearly, you know, I bleach my hair. So I was like, you know what? Redken is a really like reputable, amazing brand in the, you know, hair care industry. And although this was more expensive, the L'Oreal one is $10 and you get 6.8 fluid ounces. Oh, this one you get the same amount, 6.8 fluid ounces, but it's $22. So it's literally double the price. I was like, you know what, let me give this one a try. Maybe this one is even better, or maybe it'll just be more worth the price, especially someone like me who bleaches their hair. Like, I am willing to spend more money to, you know, recover the bleach and recover that damage. So I picked this one up. I actually haven't used this in a while. It's still not done, but the reason I haven't finished this is because it's just not that good. The L'Oreal one literally blows it out of the water. I mean, don't get me wrong, this definitely will make your hair shine, it'll make your hair soft, but the L'Oreal one will make your hair shiny and soft to like a whole new level. This is absolutely incredible. It's absolutely amazing. I literally recommend it to anyone, whether you bleach your hair, whether you have heat damage, whether your hair just has like a lot of breakage, whatever it is. I absolutely love this stuff, and I just don't think the Redken is worth the price at all. The next two items I have are also hair care items. So this first one, I spoke about this in my TikTok Made Me Buy video, but this is the Elvive Collagen Ceramide Coating Protein Treatment. TikTok made me buy this. This is like an okay product, but the reason I wanted to compare this to Olaplex #3 is because all over on TikTok, people were saying that this is a dupe for Olaplex #3. Now, this, I don't know exactly how much is in here because this is all in a different language on the back, but I believe this was like $7 or $8. Olaplex #3, the regular size is $28. This is like the jumbo size that I have. I'm not actually exactly sure how much this costs, but either way, this is, you know, a lot more than this is. So I just wanted to set the record straight that this is not a dupe for Olaplex #3. This is okay. This is a good product. It makes your hair shiny, makes your hair soft. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it like a 6. I don't know. Yeah, like a 6. But this does not, if you've been seeing this on TikTok or anywhere, this does not compare to Olaplex #3. I say splurge all day and go for Olaplex #3. It is literally worth every single penny. Now, compared to the where did I put the L'Oreal? Compared to the L'Oreal, if you're curious, I mean, I like both of these. I say get both, and they're just different. This definitely helps me more with like the color damage and the bleach damage and stuff like that, whereas this I feel like just makes my hair more shiny and more soft, and it definitely helps with like breakage and stuff over time, but Olaplex is really the hero. And the way that I use these is that if I bleach my hair, if I color my hair, I'll use Olaplex for 3 or 4 consecutive washes, and that's really it. Maybe sometimes I'll, you know, use it once a month or once every other month, kind of just like how I need it. Whereas if I'm not using this, like all those other times where I'm not using this, I will use this in the shower, maybe every other time I shower. It depends. I probably use this once a week or once every other week, but for me, who I only wash my hair once a week, I only use this like every other wash, if that makes sense. All right, now let's move into all of the makeup I have. Let's start with some lip products. So the first two items I have is the MAC Retro Matte Liquid Lip Color. This is in the shade Burnt Spice. And then I have the Honest Beauty Liquid Lipstick in BFF. Let me swatch these. Here are the two color swatch. They're almost the same, but the Honest one, which is right here, is slightly darker than the MAC. But on the actual lips, they pretty much look the same. Now the MAC one is $22 and the Honest Beauty one is $15. And I mean, if you told me like a year ago that I would be constantly wearing liquid lipsticks, I'd be like, you're crazy. But you know, clearly with the mask and everything, honestly, I have been loving liquid lipsticks. Both of these have a really amazing formula. They're both the type of formula where it's very thin. It's not gonna make your lips look dry and crusty, and you really need to use a small amount of these. Now, if you do put on too much and you really layer it, yes, your lips are gonna look and feel dry, but if you do like one swipe, one layer, it'll just be absolutely beautiful on the lips. This is hard for me, but because they're so similar and they're not that far off in price, like I mentioned, MAC is $22, the Honest one is $15, and also like the Honest one, you can use your Ulta coupon on, and honestly, MAC is also like always doing like 20% off, so they're not like too far in price. So I do recommend both of these, but because they are so similar, definitely save your money and go with the Honest one. All right, moving on to more nude lip products. I have the NYX Sweet Cheeks Soft Cheek Tint in the shade Nude, and then I have 2 shades of the Patrick Ta lip creams. The Patrick Ta lip creams retail for $24, and this, I believe this is like $8 or $9. Here are the swatches. This is the NYX and Nude. This is the Patrick Ta and She's Independent, and this is the Patrick Ta and She's Confident. So I feel like kind of a mix of them really matches the NYX, although I guess She's Confident is a little bit closer in the color. So the reason I'm comparing these two together and I'm not putting them sort of like in the same category is that the formula is a little bit different. So these are lip creams, and first of all, let me like address the elephant in the room. Yes, this is supposed to be, or like supposed to be meant as a cream blush. And I remember a few months ago, I don't know like what I was doing, but I was like, this is such a gorgeous color, I'm just gonna put it on my lips, and then I fell in love with it on my lips. So the reason that these differ are that these are lip creams and that these are moussey and a little bit more velvety, and also these don't dry down completely. So if you apply these, if you know, are drinking or something, you'll definitely get some transfer, but it won't like come like totally off. And I just felt like when I tried this, I was like, this is literally the same formula. This is a moussey whipped type of formula. It dries down, but it doesn't dry all the way down where it's like a traditional liquid lipstick, and that it's completely transfer proof, if that makes sense. So I don't know. It's like I wanted to include this in this video because I really truly equally just like love these products. But I remember when I was like going through the list, I was like, I don't, do you save or do you splurge? I don't even know myself. But ultimately, well, let me say this. I did try to use the Patrick Ta as blush because I was like, hey, I can use this as blush and on my lips and on my eyes, sort of like a one and done type of look. But I will give the disclaimer that this does not work that great on the eyes. It kind of does like crease because it doesn't set down fully, if that makes sense. These do not work on the cheeks. I didn't try it on my eyes, but they did not work on the cheeks at all just because they're a little bit thick. This is definitely a thicker consistency than this is. But if you want a really amazing one and done product, you can use it multi-use purpose. Definitely say the NYX Sweet Cheeks, but the Patrick Ta is also a holy grail of mine. So I definitely say give these a try as well if you've been curious about them or if you want to get them in the upcoming Sephora sale or anything like that. This was really, really hard for me. All right, now let's move into some eye products. Ooh, I think besides the fragrances, this may have the steepest price difference. I am comparing the ALMAY Velvet Foil Cream Shadow, which retails for like $5 to $7 depending on where you get it, to the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize Cream Eyeshadow, which retails for $32. 32 bucks. So this is a huge price difference. So let me start off that I tried the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize first and I completely fell in love with this. I was a little hesitant in trying this in general because it's a mousse, it's a cream, it's fluffy, and I was like, how is that, you know, how is that going to set down on my eye? Because usually liquid eyeshadows are kind of similar to like liquid lipsticks where they kind of go on matte and they dry down and they don't budge. But this formula is very different because this is creamy, it's moussey, it has more slip to it, it has more give to it, if you know what I mean. And I absolutely fell in love with this. One day I was at CVS, I think it was like CVS or Walgreens, and I had heard really good things about this, so I'm like, let me just pick this up. The first time I used this, I did not use I wasn't wearing any makeup, so I had no eyeshadow primer, I had no concealer on my lids, nothing. I was literally just wearing sunscreen. I believe it was in the summer. I put this on, literally just dabbed it on just to try because I was, you know, I was really excited when I brought this home and I was like, jaw drop, mic drop, what the hell? This is incredible. This literally has the same exact moussey type of consistency. I am completely convinced that these are total dupes. Clearly from that statement, you can already know what I'm gonna say. You should definitely save and get the ALMAY. It's moussey, it's creamy, it slides on, it has a lot of give, which I feel like really makes both products unique. The fact that they have give and they slide, but yet they still dry down and set down and they do not crease, they do not move. It's not a product that you need eye primer with or concealer. You don't need anything. You literally, you put it on with your finger, you can put it on with a brush. It's literally a 10 out of 10. So clearly save your money, get the ALMAY. This is literally the best product ever. Next up, I'm gonna be comparing two eyeshadow palettes. So the first palette is the Jason Wu palette. He did come out with 3 different ones, but I went ahead and got the all matte one, and this retails for $15. You can buy it on his website. You can buy it on Target. I did do an entire video dedicated to his brand. And in that video, if you watched it, I mentioned how much I loved this palette. So the other palette I'm comparing it to is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. As you can see, they're pretty similar. It's an all matte palette. And this one, although clearly you do get more shades in here, this retails for $48. And I remember after trying it a few times, I thought about this palette. I was like, this could be a legitimate save or splurge. They're both matte. They both work beautifully. Ultimately, I do think that they are different. I will say that the Jason Wu one really does work beautifully. It's probably one of the best, if not the best, matte shadows that I have tried from a drugstore brand ever. And I love how it's like a 9-pan. You can throw it in your purse if you're traveling. It doesn't take up space in your drawer if you are a makeup collector like myself, so on and so forth. But I do ultimately think that the Makeup by Mario one is better. Let's put it this way. No matter what type of look I am doing, I always use this on my clients. I am a makeup artist on the side besides YouTube, and literally no matter what look we are going for, I will use this in conjunction with other palettes. I just feel like this is more reliable, especially when it comes to the darker shades. The darker browns in here and the black in here is just to die for. They're creamy, they're pigmented, and they're just amazing. So ultimately, I do think that you should splurge and get the Makeup by Mario. I would still suggest the Jason Wu, but I do think that if you are, maybe you're a makeup artist, or maybe you just want to sort of build your own makeup collection and have something that's really like a staple item in your collection, I would highly, highly, highly recommend this palette. You cannot go wrong with it. All right, we are coming towards the end. I believe these are the last two products I'm talking about. So I'll be comparing the MILANI Supercharge Cheek and Lip Multi-Stick, which retails for $9, to the NUDESTIX Nudies Bloom, which retails for $34, which honestly, just hearing me say that out loud, that's like really high for a liquid blush, although NUDESTIX is always doing sales. Anyways, the reason I wanted to compare these is that the colors I have are a little bit different. I have this one in Spice Jolt, which I know these swatches today are not looking cute, which is sort of like a nudie red color. And the shade I have in this one is Tiger Lily Queen, which is this coral. I know these swatches horrible, which is a corally color. And the MILANI one does have a coral color. I just did not pick it up, but this MILANI one is, I'll just come out and say it, 100 times better than this NUDESTIX ones. So basically these are cream blushes, but they have a dewy finish, and that's kind of what makes these unique. So I absolutely love NUDESTIX Bondi Bay, and I also love, where is it? Sunkissed. This is in their matte formula, and the NUDESTIX matte formula is absolutely my favorite. It's a holy grail. I'm wearing NUDESTIX Bondi Bay today as my cream bronzer. So when they came out with these, I want to say like a year or two ago, and they said it was a dewy finish, I'm like, oh my God, yes! I love the matte finish. I'm gonna love the dewy finish. Ooh, I was wrong. So this is one of those dewy products on your cheek that you can feel it on your cheek. It's sticky on your cheek. It never really dries down, if you know what I mean. And my hair was getting stuck to it. I was like aware of it. Also because it was like dewy and sticky, it kind of lifted the foundation underneath, which is never a good sign. And to be honest, I've probably only used this 5 or 6 times since I got it because of that reason, just because it's sticky and it just doesn't feel good on my cheek. Now, a few months ago when I picked this up and I tried it, I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. This is a literal 10 out of 10. It gives you like that dewy wash of color. It sets down though. It's not sticky. You don't feel it. And when I used it, I was like, this is what I wish Nudies Bloom was. This is what I wish Nudies Bloom was. This is just the most incredible dewy cream cheek color ever. It does come in 4 shades, this being one of them. So I do need to try the other 4, but this is just amazing. 10 out of 10. Definitely save your money. Do not get the NUDESTIX Nudies Bloom. All right, that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, these are really my favorite videos to film. So I hope that you enjoyed this. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.